And touching on parallels, do you think there is a shared experience between staff and students? Do you reckon there are parallels between their experiences in an institution, HE, that there is more in common with than they may think? I think an example someone said was about how we had a student contact a program team saying they didn't want to receive emails on the weekend. That's a career-long gripe from educators that what would happen is that a student would normally email a member of staff on the weekend and be annoyed that they didn't get a reply, and the question was that the colleague is that's their time off. But now I think there is no time off, so it's people are working more weekends and they're communicating on weekends, and if you're working all week, you do want to switch off. So it's a very interesting parallels that we might want to reflect upon.
I thought that was fascinating. That was a piece of student feedback that I saw, was that the students were requesting staff not to email them in the evenings and weekends. And because they wanted that downtime, or they were working, or they felt an expectation that they should be looking at email during the weekends and evenings. This is the students, which is exactly the same conversation that we've had from staff. And it was really interesting. It was really interesting when I read that. I thought, wow, that is a bit of an eye-opener. And that's the situation our students are in. They are probably equally professional as academic staff are. So we've got professional students now, in some sense they're wanting to sort of take that time out. But yeah, that was it was really eye-opening when I read that. And we had to explain to the students why staff might be working evenings and weekends. And there was no obligation for them to read emails that we sent them at evenings and weekends.
But I think unless you're explicit about that, though, it's like staff, student, but if you're not explicit about the intent, then you have that impact, and you're so right that reflection of it has that impact, because people are people. It's that if you're sending at not 2 in the morning, but on an evening, unless you're actually explicit, this is just when I have to work. You don't need to respond. Unless you actually say that, there is a pressure, and it's the same between staff. There is a pressure that's created that should I be doing that then? Should I be responding then? So it is interesting.
One of the examples was that a member of staff was sending the slides for the lecture, the slides they wanted the students to read in advance of the lecture on Sunday, and the lecture was on Monday. So the students didn't feel that they had time to engage in it. And I think in the past we might have assumed that we send these lecture slides out and most of the students don't look at them. But actually I think students are being very professional about their learning, and they are really engaging in the materials that we're sending out to them in advance.
So they share a work-life balance challenge.